The vast majority of news in the US is controlled by five huge corporations, and News Voice is fighting back against media monopolies. It's the first ever entirely open, crowdsourced, democratized platform for news. Use the link right underneath this video to download the News Voice app for free. So Fox News has been a topic of discussion lately. Are they with Trump fully, or are they with Trump partially, or might they abandon Trump in the 2020 election? During yesterday's impeachment inquiry hearings, Fox News was fully with Donald Trump, including not only their coverage after the fact defending Donald Trump, but I want to look at some of the on-screen graphics that they aired during the hearings. So you might remember that over the last couple of years, there have been networks who have chosen to do something that I think is really important. When Donald Trump is giving a speech and telling lie after lie after lie, they try to fact check Trump in real time. So Trump is speaking and there will be graphics on screen that present facts about the things Donald Trump is lying about. They don't do it all the time, but it's been tested by some networks when Donald Trump is speaking. Trump tells a lie and the truth shows up on the screen, and it's a pretty useful thing. Fox did a version of this, but it's Fox. So they actually did the opposite during yesterday's hearings. They put up lies and unsubstantiated allegations about the witnesses on screen or the people asking questions on screen as if they were fact. They took attacks from Donald Trump on the witnesses and on the members of Congress asking questions and put them on screen as if they were facts that you should be aware of in order to understand what was happening during the hearings. So let's look at some examples. This first one is when Adam Schiff was speaking, and it's really important to do this so that you understand the way the propaganda cycle works. And it's also really important because one of the main criticisms from Republicans of the witnesses was they are presenting hearsay and they are just saying what they heard from someone else. What Fox News was putting up on screen were unproven allegations and claims, which during the hearings, Republicans said we shouldn't actually be doing. We shouldn't be basing our opinion on things that are unproven claims, and then Fox puts up unproven claims and assertions. So first of all, Fox News puts up as a fact that, quote, Adam Schiff publicly exaggerated the substance of the Trump-Zelensky phone call. On 9/26, September 26th, Schiff said that the transcript of the Trump phone call reads like a classic organized crime shakedown. Now, this was Schiff's interpretation. It was made sort of satirically. I mean, it's hyperbolic language. It's like an organized crime shakedown. Schiff said he's not literally saying that. He said, in sum and character, this was what the president was trying to communicate. And of course, it was. That phone call was part of a bigger picture attempted shakedown of President Zelensky of Ukraine. And in reality, Schiff's summary, even partially satirical using hyperbolic language, was far more accurate than the way Donald Trump and his defenders have summarized that phone call. Fox News putting that on screen as if it's a fact. Also on screen at the time, Fox puts on screen that, quote, Schiff admitted to not being clear about contact with the whistleblower. We still have no evidence that Adam Schiff was in contact with a whistleblower. There is no evidence that Schiff helped write the whistleblower complaint, as has been alleged. The whistleblower did go to a House Intelligence Committee aide who said, listen, you need to get a lawyer and you need to file a formal complaint. And that aide told Adam Schiff about that. Again, a totally distorted claim on screen. Let's go to the next one. This next one gets absolutely ridiculous. And understand that for the Fox News audience, this becomes gospel. This becomes the truth about the impeachment hearings. Fox put up a graphic that says, Trump has repeatedly implied that Schiff committed treason. Now, that is absolutely true in the sense that Trump has implied that. But why is that on the screen? You could put actual facts about the circumstances on the screen, but instead they put up an unfounded ad hominem attack from the president on a member of Congress. Treason is defined very clearly in the Constitution. Schiff clearly did not do anything treasonous. Why would you put that on the screen? Well, to poison the well, of course. Then we get to the graphics for former Ukraine ambassador William Taylor, which are maybe even worse. Fox puts on screen next to Taylor's face that, quote, President Trump dismissed Taylor as a never Trumper. Now, once again, it is true that Trump said that, but that's not something any serious news outlet puts on screen during a hearing if the goal is to better the understanding of the audience about the substance of what's being alleged, especially when there is no evidence that Taylor is a so-called never Trumper, period. There's really nothing else to debunk other than that. I mean, there's no evidence. It's not relevant to the hearings. Fox News decided that the most important things to tell their audience about Schiff and Taylor are unsubstantiated attacks made by President Trump. They're doing Trump's dirty work. That's ultimately what this comes down to. So when you watch the hearings, you might have been annoyed, as I sort of was, that so much time was spent by Democrats clarifying the reputations and the credentials of the witnesses, and the witnesses talking about, George Kent talking about I think he said the fourth George Kent or Kent from his family to be serving the government or whatever. Many of us deemed it unnecessary. We wanted to get to the substance, but this is part of why it had to be done. Because in real time, Republicans, bolstered with the support of right-wing media, and Republicans and right-wing media together were attempting to smear Adam Schiff. They were attempting to smear William Taylor. They were attempting to smear George Kent. And it was happening on screen in real time on Fox News. So listen, we don't know ultimately what role Fox News will choose to play in Donald Trump's reelection campaign for 2020. As we said, very different circumstances than under George W. Bush in 2004. We don't know if they'll be fully, partially, or not at all with Trump for his reelection. But at least as far as the impeachment inquiry hearings go, they have been Trump's dirty work henchmen, the equivalent of whoever went up to Stormy Daniels in that garage and implicitly threatened Stormy's daughter, I believe it was. They were doing that work, Fox News was, during the hearings. We will have more examples of this on our Instagram page. Follow us there at David Pakman Show. And while you're there, give me a follow on Instagram at david.pakman. I posted a funny behind-the-scenes picture from the studio earlier today that I think you would enjoy in a very serious manner.